What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, two-division world champion, currently the WBO reigning super middleweight world champion, British superstar boxer Billy Joe Saunders. He's going to face off against four-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez tomorrow night. Saul Canelo Alvarez is the unified WBC, WBA super middleweight world champion superstar boxer. With that said, this week is obviously fight week, and Billy Joe Saunders has done a pretty few distasteful things. One in particular, he has, when interviewed and approached by Mexican fan base, obviously Saul Canelo Alvarez is a Mexican boxer, and he has a Mexican fan base. When Billy Joe Saunders has been approached by Mexican media, Billy Joe Saunders has been mocking the Mexican media, okay? One in particular, he continued to tell one boxing media that was talking to him that he started to tell the boxing reporter who was talking to him in a calm, cool, collective manner, and he was talking about the sport of boxing being serious, and Billy Joe Saunders continued to tell this particular reporter that his breath was not, was foul. Okay, every time the reporter stated something, Billy Joe Saunders, and I'm paraphrasing because he kept using certain words to describe this certain reporter's foul breath, according to Billy Joe Saunders. Then he stated that he's been up against the Mexican fan base before, and it's not that bad, and then he states that, Mexican fans don't even respect Canelo Alvarez. They're not in too much of support of Canelo Alvarez. And so he believes that he'll have more Mexican fan base on his side than Canelo Alvarez does. So Billy Joe Saunders, obviously, he's trying to play mental games with Canelo Alvarez. He's trying to get Canelo Alvarez to get more aggressive in the fight, get out of character, make mistakes in the ring, okay? With that said, Canelo Alvarez, he responded, obviously we know about Billy Joe Saunders in the ring, okay? Billy Joe Saunders has been saying, he wants a 22-foot ring, then he wants a 24-foot ring, and according to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter of Billy Joe Saunders, and co-promoter of Canelo Alvarez Promotions, he stated that initially he asked for a 22-foot ring, a 20-foot ring. Then it turned into a 22-foot ring. Then it turned into a 24-foot ring. Okay, so Billy Joe Saunders is clearly trying to get under the skin of Canelo Alvarez. But when he goes at the Mexican fan base and the Mexican reporters, that's a little distasteful. Okay, to say the least. So obviously Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't need much more motivation, but Canelo Alvarez says now he is a little bit more motivated, to hit Billy Joe Saunders even more in the ring. Okay, now maybe it worked. Maybe the tactics of Billy Joe Saunders, maybe they did work, and maybe Canelo Alvarez will get out of character and start doing things he don't normally do inside the ring and start making mistakes. Okay. Billy Joe Saunders is a slick, pure boxer. He's bigger than Canelo Alvarez at 5'11", with a 70-inch arm reach. He's a naturally bigger guy than Canelo Alvarez, who's 5'8", with a 69-inch arm reach. Okay, Billy Joe Saunders 71-inch arm reach. Excuse me, Canelo Alvarez was 69-inch arm reach. But Canelo Alvarez is the stronger guy. Canelo Alvarez, I believe that has better pure boxing ability. I believe Billy Joe Saunders has better pure athletic ability, but I believe Canelo Alvarez has better pure boxing ability, meaning that Canelo Alvarez, he puts his combinations together very, very well. Canelo Alvarez, has a high ring IQ. Canelo Alvarez never fights down to the level of his opponents. He's always consistent all the way across the board. When you see Billy Joe Saunders in the ring against Chris Eubanks and then against David Lemieux, you see a different version of Billy Joe Saunders than you do against Martin Murray and the other guys, Coceres, that he fought. Those levels of opponents, he fights down to his level of opponents. That's something Canelo Alvarez simply just does not do. He fights the same way all the way across the board. And with that, Canelo Alvarez, shows the more dedication to the sport of boxing. Another thing is in between fights, Billy Joe Saunders, he garners a lot of weight. He gains a lot of weight, okay? And he has to have weight loss camps, okay? Because in between fights, he just don't take the sport of boxing serious. Canelo Alvarez is in shape year round, okay? Every day of the year. He's the same all the way across the board. So I believe he's taking better care of his body, as Billy Joe Saunders even admitting of. He says that Canelo Alvarez definitely takes better care of his body, but Billy Joe Saunders is stating, well, my approach has worked thus far, okay? He's undefeated, so he's stating that, his approach still works. He's still very, very effective at what he's done, regardless if he hasn't taken care of his body to the best of his ability. But that can come back, you never know. Billy Joe Saunders, 30 wins, no losses, 14 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age, stands at 5'11" with a 71-inch arm reach, okay? Last time he was in the ring was December 4th when he took on Martin Murray, okay? He defeated, got a unanimous decision victory. So with that said, but you never know how things turn around, right? Your body can, all of a sudden not respond to the manner that you so used to it responding, okay? Because you haven't taken the best care of your body as an athlete, as a professional athlete, okay? So Billy Joe Saunders, he's using Canelo, the fact that Canelo Alvarez has a lot of Mexican pride. He's using, the fan base. He's using any tactic he can to get under the skin of Canelo Alvarez, okay? So we know Canelo Alvarez, 55 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 37 wins by way of knockout. He's 30 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach, okay? Last time we saw him in the rings when he took on defeated Avenue Dirham via stoppage. That was February 27th, okay? So, obviously, what better way to, start to rub Canelo Alvarez the wrong way than to start poking at, his Mexican pride, okay? And so that's what Billy Joe Saunders is doing. I thought it was in bad taste for Billy Joe Saunders to continue to do this with, the media, the Mexican media. Every time he's doing an interview, every time he's approached, he obviously understands, who's who. He never does this when you see Billy Joe Saunders. Now, he's always joking, right? He's always playing games. He's always joking around. He's always, doing something, okay? But in this case, right, he's doing so when it comes to the UK, the United Kingdom media. He's not having this approach. He seems to be taking it very serious. Now, he still has these little sarcastic remarks that he makes, but not towards them directly, okay? In this case, when it's the Mexican media, he's directing it directly towards the Mexican media themselves, okay? Like I said, he was telling the one Mexican media member that his breath was bad. He continued, every time the guy continued to ask him a question, he said, not as bad as your breath, not as bad. He continued to, poke fun. And to the guy's credit, because he stayed very professional. He never got flustered. He just continued to, with the interview. He pretended that he wasn't hearing what Billy Joe Saunders was saying, okay? And that's, like I said, that's to get at Canelo Alvarez. That's, for it to get back to Canelo Alvarez so he can, this is boxing. This is a sport, right? And, you have to be cool, calm, and collective. You have to be able to control your emotions, control your breathing, and control the atmosphere, slow down everything. If you're hyped up, if your adrenaline's pumping, then you make mistakes. And that's what Billy Joe Saunders, I believe, is banking on when it comes to this situation, okay? And like I said, to Billy Joe Saunders' defense, that Billy Joe Saunders, he does do this with all media, but in this case, and he's taking it very serious when it comes to the UK media, but when it comes to the Mexican media, he seems to always have, something directed directly towards them. Like I said, in other cases, he'll say little small remarks, but not directly towards them. In this case, he's directly, is being pointed directly at them. So, this is a huge fight. This is the biggest fight of Billy Joe Saunders' career. This is not the biggest fight of Canelo Alvarez's career, okay? Canelo Alvarez has been here before. He's been in unification bouts before. He's fought Floyd Mayweather before. That's the biggest fight of his career. He's had huge fights in his career. He's been on the pay-per-view stage. He's been in front of thousands of fans. In this case, there's a lot of pressure mounted on Billy Joe Saunders, especially with all the demands and all the things he's the tactic he's using. So we got to see how this unfolds and plays out. But I just believe it was in bad taste for Billy Joe Saunders to go this route. But make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.